Hey, mamas and dads out there. Now, one of the most overwhelming and anxiety-ridden things is traveling with a baby. Now, my husband and I would say are expert travelers. We've traveled a lot before baby. And now that we've brought the baby into the world, we want to make sure she travels and is able to see everything that we want her to. So, this series will talk about air traveling with baby, car rides with baby, in different places that are very baby friendly, and how you can best be prepared when traveling with your baby. All right, now planning is the key when it comes to traveling with a baby. Now, first, flight planning. Now, what does this include? You will want to determine the best time of day to travel, and let's take a look at your seat arrangements. So, timing. I would recommend first flight of the day or near the first flight of the day. Those will typically have fewer delays than if you were to travel later in the day. The negatives with first flight of the day is if it's a 7 a.m. flight and you have an hour commute to the airport and you need to get there 2 hours before, that makes a really early morning. Baby will most likely adapt pretty well to the early morning, but you might be a little tired. The next thing, seat location. If you're traveling with a partner, a friend, or family member, get seats together. I recommend getting seats towards the back of the plane. This just allows you to get up, walk a few laps with your baby if needed to help calm them down. And there's usually a galley area in the back that they'll let you stand a little bit to try to calm your baby. Seat type is also very important with flight planning. Now, if your baby is under 2 at the time of flying, your baby can be a lap child. You will need a boarding pass for them. We'll go into that a little bit later. Well, as a lap child, this worked well for our 6-month-old, but one of the moms a few seats up had an 18-month-old and she was quite cramped. If you're going to hold your older baby, let's say they're a year and a half, I would encourage you to look to upgrade to an Economy Plus seat, or if the cost isn't too astronomical, upgrade to a first class or a business class seat. You know, when you run the costs, you may also find it cheaper to buy your baby their own economy seat versus upgrading. Just crunch the numbers. One thing to note that if your baby is in their own seat, you'll need to bring a car seat on the plane, or you'll need to purchase like an airplane harness. More on that in a future video. Next up is to plan that airport transportation. Now, with a child, in a taxi, an Uber, a Lyft, whatever you use, you do need to still have them in a car seat. We did choose to bring the base with us as well, to lock into the car and then put her car seat on top of that. Now, to us, that was really fast and we were able to do it. I recommend just practicing it a few times before you actually get to the day where you're leaving. But it worked just fine for us to do Uber, Lyft to the airport, and then from the airport for all of our airport transportation. That worked just fine. You could rent a town car, a limo, whatever you want to do. So planning airport transportation is actually pretty simple. Another big aspect when traveling with a baby is to plan for carry-on versus checked items. Now, there will be a lot of different opinions on this. There is no right or wrong. I can just share what worked best for us and why it worked best. So first of all, we flew United, and they allowed us to check our stroller and our car seat bag for free. Now, I strongly encourage you to take advantage of this option. My advice is to try to check as much as you possibly can And really the only one must for your carry-on is your diaper bag. The rest is totally up to your own discretion. Now, this is what we did. We checked a travel stroller, and then we purchased a car seat bag off of Amazon in which we put our car seat and the base. Now, this car seat bag is not weighed. So if you can find one with a zipper, put more stuff in there. Put a pack of diapers, put your packs of wipes, whatever bigger items, you can put them in there because it's not weighed. We then also checked one large bag. And when I say large, it's the largest suitcase that you can probably buy at Costco. But this included everything for my husband, me, and the baby. We really did try to pack light because we needed to make sure everything would fit in an Uber. You'll notice that we did check the stroller, and I am really happy with that decision. Let me tell you why. Now, looking around the airport, I saw parents trying to maneuver these massive strollers, kids wanting in the stroller, out of the stroller, a baby in the stroller, a kid out. I mean, it was kind of chaotic. And they were trying to maneuver those strollers plus carry-on bags. Most of the time, I just saw empty strollers with either kids walking or being carried, and it just looked miserable to the parents. So lucky for us, our baby is still willing to be held in a wearable, so I just wore her at the airport. Now, once she gets to the point where she does not want to be worn, I still will not take a stroller. I will carry her, or if she's at the point where she can walk, we will do that. Because I'm not going to be pushing a stroller and trying to corral an infant while also holding on to carry-on bags. Just our point of view on that one. Now, the diaper bag. These are the must-have items that you will need to pack in that diaper bag. First of all, when packing your diaper bag, think about the things that make your baby calm and happy. These will differ for every single baby, but you also will need to pack more than you think. You may also need a larger diaper bag. At my everyday use, I use a smaller one, but when we travel, I had to get a bigger one. Then, you know what? Let's get that pen ready because here is the list of items in our diaper bag that really just work so well for us. Number one, I packed 2 outfits. You never know when those blowouts are going to happen. 1 diaper for every hour of travel, hand sanitizer, wipes, changing pad, burp cloth, bibs, formula, or a cover up if you're breastfeeding. You always kind of want that privacy, I think, in an open airport or in a plane where people are sitting so close to you. Bottles and dish soap. You may want to wash out the bottles after you use them, so that's why that dish soap comes in so handy. An empty water bottle. Now, you can go through security if you call it out and say, hey, I've got a water bottle in my diaper bag for my baby's formula. They will let you go through with it, but man, it took me 3 times as long to get through security. And your TSA regulations might differ at every airport. So I do encourage you, just bring a empty water bottle with you and fill it up at the water station when you get past security. Bring multiple pacifiers, teething rings, or really other items that comfort your baby. I brought 3 pacifiers, 2 teething rings. I had the dish soap so I could wash them if I needed. And then noise-free, small toys that your baby loves. Keep these in your diaper bag, bring 2 of them, so if they get crabby or they need some sort of stimulation, you can grab those. Food. You don't know how long you'll be at an airport. If your plane is delayed, you might be there longer than you thought. So rice teethers, puffs, any sort of baby food with your spoon, cereal, whatever your baby's currently eating beyond formula and breast milk. If your baby is eating beyond formula and breast milk, make sure you bring some of that with you. If you're doing baby-led weaning, now there is going to be some food stations in the airport, but they might have extra spices or sauces or things on them, so just don't rely on that. Bring your own food. And then other items that comfort your baby. a blanket, a sleep sack. Maybe they've got a special teddy. Those are all things that you want to keep in mind when packing your diaper bag. Our baby loves a Wubba Nub, so we brought 2 of them for her to keep her calm, and this really worked for us. Now, just wrapping up here with some basics that we haven't covered yet, but we should. Now, first of all, if you have a lap child, you still need a boarding pass for that lap child. When making your reservation, you will have an opportunity to indicate that you have a lap child and put their name in there. However, the boarding pass doesn't automatically print out. You will need to, most likely, go to the check-in and ask them for a boarding pass for your infant. So make sure you do that before you head to security. Also, you will be eligible, most likely, for early boarding. We didn't do this. We figured the least amount of time that we're on the plane, the better. But you will be eligible for that. So if you want to take advantage of it, you can do that. Next one, when you get seated, make sure you get out all of the immediate necessities. So a pacifier, a teddy bear, their burp cloth, and their bottle or your breastfeeding cover-up. Those are things that you will probably need to access pretty quickly. Another thing is make sure you give your baby a bottle or that you breastfeed your baby upon takeoff and landing. This will help with minimizing their ears popping and hopefully some of that discomfort surrounding that. Those are just our tips on how to navigate air travel with a baby. Best of luck. If you have additional tips, please put them in the comments and make sure you subscribe for all future videos.